Right, okay, so we are talking about conversations and conversation techniques. So, how to listen and ask the right questions, relevant questions that actually help you uncover more about the actual person you're speaking with. And this is a massive topic. Obviously, we could go into this for hours and hours, but in summary, these points will have you set on your way perfectly. And these are some really powerful points to actually start to apply today. So I like to see this as, I like to give the example of a doctor. When you go to see a doctor, he'll be sitting there quietly, or she'll be sitting there quietly, and they'll be listening to you, and they'll just be nodding their head and asking you how you feel and when it started and how it came about and when you've noticed this and how many times it's occurred. And you start to see a common theme with this, and it's that they're actually really getting you to explore and get everything out right there. It's just the best example of a conversation, actually, if you think about it. Go see a doctor if you want to see the real art of conversation. But they've got you really feeling as though they care. And it's the first time you feel as though actually you can express yourself so openly and just keep sharing everything. And they'll just be sitting there and just, throwing in their sounds, conversational sounds like, interesting, okay. And they'll on cue they'll ask you another question, and that actually is the sort of frame that I like to see everything through. So every conversation and every interaction, I like to liken it to being a doctor who's about to create a diagnosis. So you really want to, in the conversation, you want to play the doctor in your mind. You want to have the frame of the doctors. And when you start the conversation, if you have the mentality that you're there to actually improve their situation and improve them, try to help them, even if it's just 2%, at the end of that conversation, if you've helped them by even 2%, you've done a fantastic job. And you need to keep that in mind. So how can you help them? You always need to be looking for areas and get involved in the conversation. Develop a natural intrigue. Be intrigued by what they're saying. Take it onto your own shoulders. Imagine it's your challenge. Imagine it's your pain. Imagine how you would deal with it. Put yourself in that position. Really embrace it and become one with that conversation. Constantly be asking why. What is their why? What is their drivers? What are their drivers? I mean, why do they do the things they do? Why are they doing the things that they're doing? Where is it stemming from? Where is it coming from? So every time they give you an answer, you can just go deeper and just say, okay, why was that then? All right, okay, you did that. Ah, interesting. Okay, so why did that happen? Where did that come from? Again, a bit like that doctor, just constantly trying to find the create the diagnosis. So their understanding their whys is powerful, and really understanding and trying to get to the bottom of their pains. Where do their pains lie? And we can't find their pains just from surface level answers. We really have to go deeper. And the only way to go deeper is to build up that rapport through listening and through making them feel as though they're heard and building up that sort of rapport and that bond between you guys. And eventually they will feel that they can be vulnerable with you and share that pain. And again, then when you start to hear pains and them expressing pains, you want to try and even dig deeper and understand, right, okay, how long has this been going on for? And really try to, again, the narrative is we want to improve them. We're intrigued. We're taking it onto our as it's our own problem. And we're understanding their whys, and we really want to get to the bottom of this pain. We want to help them and find the diagnosis and find how and why this pain has come about and what we can do to help them. And again, we want to explore, exhaust over and over again. We want to try to really, again, develop an image. We want to develop an image of their situation, the politics surrounding it, where it's come, how it's come about, and just keep questioning around it and seeing the full dimension of the mug. And again, why, the whys, the wheres, the hows, the whens. These are all important tools for relating with somebody in conversation and asking these questions. So again, and you really want to be throwing in the cues. So you've got sound effects that are really handy in a conversation. I mean, it will make it more conversational. Otherwise, it will sound like you're just you're sort of just interviewing them, and it can sound quite intimidating. So you want to throw in the I see, ooh, okay, okay, I get that. I put them here. Put some sounds here. Interesting. Okay, I'm curious. Tell me more about that. Tell me is another big one, actually. Tell me more. And really be interested. This isn't about putting this on. You need to involve yourself in the situation. Otherwise, you won't be able to actually have a meaningful conversation where you're uncovering the actual challenges. And obviously, uncovering challenges will then allow you to then address these challenges and these issues that they're having through a service or a product or whatever it is that you can, but we can come back to that later anyway. This is about listening and asking the right questions. And so, tell me more. Okay, I can relate to that. If you feel like you can relate to something, I can relate to that. I see what you mean. And then maybe a bit of storytelling, a bit of a story about yourself. Like when you went through a similar thing or when you felt the same way. Give a bit of yourself. You have to give a bit of yourself because again, you're becoming involved in this conversation, and that's the key behind this. So listening and asking the right questions. This is again a summary of everything that you could start to implement right now in the conversations that you're having with loved ones, with in your professional life, your social life. Just start doing this, and again, you will be a rare person in their life that's asking these questions and really trying to engage with them. Remember, through engagements is where you can start to actually reach your goals. It's through having those engagements and building trust. It's trust where it comes from. Trust. Through trust is where after people feel trust with you, that's when they'll happily do transactions with you and develop that relationship. But it goes beyond business. It's not just business. This is for building your life, for building a life for yourself. And again, teaching your children even, and for them to teach their children. These are powerful skills that people are just not taught in schools. And it's something that will change your life and make the people that you interact with, feel more listened to, more understood, and it will give them a space. They'll feel like they have a space to really empty out their challenges and any pains that they have. And that's when you will be able to actually develop that bond and move forward with it. So this is the summary of conversation skills, of listening and questioning, and this should help.